As we get older, it's funny how something as simple as walking through the house can start to feel a little tricky. Maybe it's that rug in the hallway that always bunches up. Maybe it's stepping down the porch to get the paper. Or maybe it's just that weird spot in the kitchen where the floor changes and makes you slow down. And here's the thing. That doesn't mean anything's wrong with you. It just means your body's asking you to move with a little more care. That's not weakness. That's wisdom. A lot of women I talk to, in their 60s, 70s, even 80s, they tell me the same thing. They say, "I'm not afraid of aging. I'm just afraid of falling." And honestly, I get it. One little fall can lead to a lot of worry. It can mean pain, recovery time, even losing some of your independence. But here's the good news. You actually have more control than you think. There are small, gentle things you can do that help you feel steadier, more balanced, and more confident with every step. No special shoes, no gym, no big effort. Just simple habits you can start today, right where you are. In this video, I'm going to walk you through 6 of those habits. And my hope is, by the end, you'll feel a little more sure of yourself and a little less afraid of that next step. 1. Head up, heart forward. Most of us have been told since we were little girls, watch where you're going. And for good reason. It keeps us safe. So it makes sense that as we get older, we want to look down at our feet while we walk. We want to make sure we are not about to trip on something, especially when we are home alone or walking in unfamiliar places. It feels safer to look down. But the truth is, always looking down when you walk can actually throw off your balance more than you realize. Let me explain why. Your head is heavier than you think. It is like a bowling ball sitting up there. And wherever your head goes, the rest of your body tends to follow. So, when you are always looking down, your neck leans forward, your shoulders round in, and your back starts to hunch. Before you know it, your center of gravity is pushed forward, and that makes your steps less stable. You are more likely to trip, not because of what is on the ground, but because your posture is pulling you out of balance. There is something else too. When your head is down, your view is limited. You're only seeing what is directly in front of your feet. You're not noticing what is 10 feet ahead, the dog toy in the hallway, the slight step down into the garage, or the shadow at the edge of the rug. So instead of catching those things early, your body only reacts when it is too late. But there is a simple shift that can make a world of difference. It is called the 80-20 rule. And it just means this. As you walk, try to keep your head up and your eyes looking ahead about 80% of the time. That means you are watching the space in front of you, maybe 10 to 15 feet ahead, instead of constantly staring at your feet. Then, just glance down with your eyes the other 20% of the time, quickly checking for changes in the floor or your path. You do not need to lift your chin high or walk like a ballerina. Just picture a string, gently pulling the top of your head upward. Keep your neck soft. Keep your chest open. Let your eyes lead you forward. If you are used to looking down all the time, this might feel strange at first. That is okay. Start slowly. Try it while walking from your bedroom to the kitchen, or from your car to the mailbox. Just bring your eyes up, even for a few steps, and notice how different your body feels. One woman I spoke to, her name is Ruth, told me that just changing where she looked made her feel more in control. She said, "I feel taller, like I am walking with purpose again, not just trying not to fall." And that is exactly what this is about. Not just avoiding a fall, but walking with confidence again. So the next time you catch yourself staring at the floor, take a breath and lift your gaze. You're not walking through life afraid. You are walking forward, with your head up and your heart leading the way. 2. Your arms remember. Now let us talk about something a lot of people do not even think about when they walk. Your arms. Yes, your arms. I know it sounds strange, But the way you move your arms while walking plays a big role in your balance. Your arms are like your body's natural stabilizers. When you walk, your left leg and your right arm should move forward at the same time. Then your right leg and your left arm. That gentle swinging motion keeps your body steady. It is like a quiet rhythm that helps you stay centered. But here is what happens. Over the years, many of us stop using our arms the way we used to. Maybe we are carrying something in one hand, a purse, a grocery bag, or even just a phone. Maybe one shoulder hurts, and we do not want to move it too much. Or maybe, and this is common, we are feeling nervous. And when we are nervous, we tend to stiffen up. Think about it. Have you ever caught yourself walking with your arms frozen by your sides, barely moving? That is your body bracing for something to go wrong. It is trying to stay safe by locking up. But in reality, that stiffness makes you more off balance, not less. So what can you do? It is simple. Just start noticing your arms again. You do not need to swing them like you are in a marching band. But try this. Keep your elbows slightly bent and relaxed. As you take a step forward with your right leg, let your left arm swing forward gently, then switch. Let the movement come naturally, like you are remembering a dance you used to know by heart. If you have a shoulder that is sore, or one arm that is stiffer than the other, do not worry. Focus on the side that moves more easily. Even just swinging one arm can help your balance. And often, the more you move, the more comfortable it becomes. Some women find it helpful to count their steps while they swing their arms, just to check that both sides are working in rhythm. Others practice marching gently in place near a countertop, just loosening up before heading out for a walk. And you know what? It is not just about balance. Moving your arms as you walk makes your whole body feel more alive. It brings back that feeling of freedom, like when you used to walk to the corner store without even thinking about it. So do not be afraid to let your arms join in. They remember how to move. You are not stiff, you are strong. Let your arms help you walk the way you were always meant to, steady, balanced, and free. 3. Heel to toe, one step at a time. Let us talk about something many people do not even realize they are doing differently as they get older. And that is how your foot touches the ground when you walk. You see, when we are younger, our body naturally uses a heel-to-toe motion. That means the heel touches the ground first, then the foot rolls forward, and finally, we push off with the toes. It is smooth, it is balanced, and it helps keep our steps steady and strong. But here is what happens over time. Maybe your joints are a little stiffer. Maybe your ankles are not as strong. Or maybe you have had a fall in the past, and now you walk more carefully, even cautiously. That is understandable. But when we become too careful, we sometimes start to change our walking pattern without noticing. A lot of women begin to place their whole foot down flat. Others land on the ball of their foot first, skipping the heel altogether. And some begin to shuffle, barely lifting their feet at all. Now, that might feel safer, but it actually makes you more likely to trip. Shuffling shortens your stride, weakens your muscles, and makes it easier to catch your foot on a rug, a threshold, or even a tiny crack in the sidewalk. But here is the good news. Your body already knows the right way to walk. You have been doing it for decades. You just need to remind it gently. Try this simple practice. Find a safe, flat space in your home, maybe the hallway or the kitchen floor. Take off your shoes and walk slowly across the room. Focus on placing your heel down first. Then, let your foot roll forward until your toes lift you off into the next step. Do it slowly. Feel every part of the step. You're not trying to walk fast. You're just waking up the natural rhythm your body used to follow. One helpful tip is to walk barefoot on a towel or soft mat. The texture helps you notice how your foot is moving. That feedback from the ground actually tells your muscles, hey, we are doing this the right way again. It might feel a little strange at first, especially if you have been walking differently for a while. But after a few tries, you will start to feel the difference. Your steps will feel more grounded, more stable, less hesitant. There is something really powerful about knowing your body still remembers how to move well. It just needed a gentle reminder. So next time you go for a walk, even just from the living room to the kitchen, try it out. Heel, then toe. Let it be smooth, let it be steady. Let it be yours again. 4. Smaller steps, stronger balance. Now, here is a habit that surprises a lot of people. And I will admit, it sounds so simple, you might think it does not matter. But trust me, this one small change can make a big difference. And that is learning to take smaller steps. Most of us grew up walking with long, confident strides. It felt natural. It even felt elegant. And for years, that was a good thing. But as we get older, especially when we are on uncertain ground or dealing with joint pain, long strides can quietly work against us. Let me explain why. When you take a big step, your front foot reaches far out in front of your body. That means your center of gravity shifts backward. You're now leaning more on your back foot, and your weight is stretched out instead of centered. That can put extra pressure on your knees, your hips, and even your lower back. More importantly, it slows down your ability to react if something unexpected happens, like a loose rug, a slick floor, or a small object in your path. Taking smaller steps brings everything back under your control. With shorter strides, your weight stays right underneath you. You are more grounded, you can adjust more quickly, and you are far less likely to drag your feet or trip. If you use a cane or a walker, small steps are even more important. Big steps can throw off the rhythm between your body and your device, making you feel off balance. But smaller steps make it easier to move smoothly without overreaching. Here is something simple you can try today. Pick a safe room in your house. Set a timer for 10 seconds. Then walk across the room at your normal pace and count your steps. Do it again, but this time, focus on taking shorter, gentler steps. Count again. If you take more steps in the same amount of time, that means your strides are smaller. And that is a good thing. It means you are keeping your weight centered and reducing your risk of falling. And here is something else. Smaller steps are not just safer. They can actually feel more graceful. One woman I know, her name is Eleanor, told me that after she started walking with smaller steps, she felt more in control. She said, I used to feel like I was rushing, like I was chasing my balance. Now I feel like I'm leading it. That shift, from chasing to leading, is a beautiful thing, and it is something you deserve to feel. So do not worry about walking like you used to in your younger years. You are not going backward. You are moving forward, smarter, steadier, and more in tune with your body than ever. Shorter steps, stronger you. 5. Your core, the secret to staying steady. When most people think about balance, they think about their legs, their feet, maybe even their shoes. But very few people realize that true balance, the kind that keeps you from tipping, wobbling, or needing to reach for the wall, actually starts in the center of your body. I am talking about your core. Now, do not worry. I am not going to tell you to do sit-ups or get six-pack abs. That is not the kind of strength we are talking about here. This is about deep, quiet strength, the kind you carry in your stomach, your lower back, and your hips. The muscles in your core work all day long to help you sit upright, stand tall, and shift your weight from one foot to the other. But here is the thing. Over time, especially if we spend more hours sitting or avoiding certain movements, those core muscles start to weaken. And when that happens, everything else has to work harder. Your legs, your shoulders, even your neck, they all pick up the slack. That is when your posture starts to slump. That is when you feel wobbly, even when you are walking across familiar spaces. Let me tell you about someone who went through this. Her name is Eleanor, and she is 79 years old. She loves baking cookies for her grandchildren and tending her roses. But last year, she had a couple of scary falls, one in the kitchen and one just walking from her bedroom to the bathroom. It shook her confidence. Her daughter encouraged her to visit a physical therapist, and you know what they found? It was not her legs. It was her core. The therapist gave Eleanor just 2 small exercises to do each day. The first one was this. While brushing her teeth, she would gently pull her belly button in toward her spine, just a little. Not a crunch, just a soft squeeze, like tightening a belt one notch. She held it for a few seconds, then relaxed. She did that twice a day, every day. The second one was even simpler. Standing near a kitchen counter for support, she lifted one foot, just an inch or two off the floor. She held that position for 5 seconds, then switched feet. That was it. No fancy moves, no equipment. After just a few weeks, Eleanor told me she felt glued to the floor, in a good way. She said, "I do not feel like the wind could knock me over anymore." That invisible strength, the quiet kind that you carry in your center, gave her back a sense of control. You can do these same exercises, right now even, as you stand near your sink or while waiting for your coffee to brew. Just gently pull in your stomach, hold for a few seconds, and release. Or lift one foot slightly, balance and switch. These tiny movements add up. They remind your body that it is still capable, still steady, and still strong. And over time, you will begin to notice a shift. You will stand taller. You will walk with more ease. You will feel more connected to the ground beneath you and more confident with every step. Because the truth is, balance is not just about what is under your feet. It is about what is happening at your center. And the good news? That strength is already inside you. You just have to wake it up. 6. Floors can fool you. Now let us talk about something that might seem small, but can actually be a big reason why so many women fall. And that is the floor. Not just what is on it, but how it changes. Rugs, tile, hardwood, shadows, steps, even a slight change in lighting or texture can catch you off guard. As we get older, our depth perception starts to shift. That just means the way our eyes judge distance and depth becomes a little slower. Add to that a little slower reaction time, and you can see how something as simple as walking from carpet to tile could throw you off balance, especially if you are not paying close attention. Let me tell you about someone who learned this the hard way. Her name is Betty, and she is 78 years old. She is sharp, active, and always careful. But one day, she almost slipped in her own kitchen. Nothing big had changed, except that her floor had just been mopped. It looked clean, shiny, perfectly normal. But it was slippery, and her foot began to slide before her brain had time to react. That moment shook her, and after that, she decided to start a new habit. Every time she walked into a different room or area of the house, she would quietly name the floor in her mind. She would say, tile, rug, wood, or step down. It may sound silly, but it gave her body time to adjust. It made her present. You can do this too. As you move through your home, or even out in public, a grocery store, a doctor's office, a friend's house, start to call out the change. Say it out loud or just in your mind. That tiny moment of awareness gives your eyes and brain time to catch up with your feet. Also, watch out for lighting changes. Going from a bright room into a dim hallway, or stepping outside into the sunlight, can take a second for your eyes to adjust. That 1 second can be the difference between a steady step or a stumble. So just pause. Give yourself that moment. There is no rush. If you wear bifocal or progressive lenses, be extra careful with curbs, stairs, or changes in flooring. Those lenses can bend your view of the floor, and it might not be exactly where you think it is. Take your time. Hold the railing. And again, say it in your mind. Step down, curb, hardwood. This kind of awareness is not about being afraid. It is about being wise. You have walked through life long enough to know that paying attention matters. You do not need to fear the floor. You just need to stay alert to it. So let your eyes scan the room. Let your mind name the changes. And let your body move with care, not hesitation. Because with every step you take, in every room, on every surface, you are not just walking. You are leading yourself forward with strength, with grace, and with awareness. Bonus tip: breathe while you walk. The power of calm steps. Now, I want to share one more habit with you. Consider it a little bonus, a gift from me to you. It is something so simple, most people do not even think about it. But once you do, you may notice your walking feels easier, lighter, and even more peaceful. Here it is. Remember to breathe while you walk. Now I know what you might be thinking. Of course I breathe. I have been doing it my whole life. But I want to ask you something. Have you ever found yourself holding your breath just a little when you are nervous? Maybe while walking across a wet floor, or going down a step, or passing through a crowded place. It is more common than you think. When we feel anxious, even just a little, our breath gets shallow. Sometimes we hold it without realizing, and that tension spreads through the body. It tightens the shoulders. It makes your steps shorter. It throws off your natural rhythm. And worst of all, it can make you feel more unsteady, right in the moment when you need to feel grounded. But when you bring your breath back into the picture, soft, steady, and calm, your whole body starts to relax. Your muscles loosen, your mind clears, and your balance improves. Try this the next time you walk, even just across the living room. As you take a step, breathe in gently through your nose. Then breathe out slowly through your mouth as you take the next step. No need to force it. Just let the breath flow naturally, like a quiet rhythm underneath your movement. Some people find it helpful to count while they breathe and walk. For example, breathe in for 3 steps and breathe out for 3 steps. Others hum softly as they walk, just to keep the breath flowing. There is also something beautiful about walking outside and matching your breath to the world around you. Inhale as the breeze brushes your face. Exhale as you pass the flowers or trees. Let nature remind you that you are still part of something alive and steady and good. And here is the deeper reason this matters. Breathing, especially mindful breathing, brings you back into your body. It grounds you. It helps you feel present. And it reminds you that you are not just surviving, you are living. With every step, with every breath. One woman I spoke to, her name is Ruth, told me that she used to feel panicked walking down her front steps. Even though she had never fallen, she always got that tight feeling in her chest. But then she started breathing slowly while walking. She said it changed everything. Now she feels calm, even proud, when she makes it to the mailbox. Because she is not rushing. She is walking with peace. You deserve that same peace. So if you ever feel unsure or tense or like you are walking on edge, come back to your breath. Let it guide you. Let it soften the fear. Let it remind you that this body of yours still knows how to move through the world with grace, one calm step at a time. Your breath has been with you since the very beginning, and it is still here, strong, steady, and faithful. Use it. Trust it. Let it carry you. You're still walking forward. Before we finish today, I just want to say something that I hope stays with you long after this video ends. You're not walking slower because you are less. You're walking slower because you have learned how to move with care, with wisdom, with grace. The 6 habits we talked about today: keeping your head up, letting your arms swing, walking heel to toe, taking smaller steps, strengthening your core, and noticing the floor, they are not rules. They are reminders. Gentle reminders that your body is still capable and your life is still yours to move through. And that bonus tip we added, breathing while you walk, that is not just about movement. That is about living with calm and intention. It is about claiming each step, each moment, as something that still belongs to you. Aging does not mean giving up control. It means adjusting, learning, and walking forward in a new way. One that honors everything you have lived through and everything you still want to do. So if this video gave you something to think about, or maybe something to try, I hope you will share it. Send it to a sister, a friend, someone you care about. Because sometimes the smallest tips can bring the biggest sense of peace. And someone out there might need that today. And I would love to hear from you too. Leave a comment and tell me, which tip are you going to try first? What has helped you feel steady lately? I read every word, and I promise you, your story matters. Thank you for spending this time with me. You could have been anywhere else, but you chose to be here, to take care of yourself, to learn, and to grow. That means something, and it tells me that you are not done, not even close. So take that next step, not with fear, not with doubt, but with your head high, your breath steady, and your heart open. You are not just walking, you are walking forward, wiser, stronger, and more grounded than ever. Take good care, and I will see you in the next video.